Stand by.
Could have been smoother. Hello. If you want to support us here at The Contemporary Gentleman, you can buy into our Spy series, links below. And depending on when this was recorded, we may or may not have an Instagram and or Patreon. If we do, links are below. Cheers.
I can't actually see it, so you're good. Alright, this time 2 rounds. On the middle circles, 2 rounds in each circle. Alright, stand by. Stand by. Alright, 3 rounds on these, 3 rounds. Stand by. Last iteration, stand by.
Hello everyone, James Donaldson here, and I'm bringing you a video, kind of a simpler one, kind of one of these ones about gear I'm trying to do where I kind of simplify and don't take 30 minutes to talk about something. So in this video, we're talking about the ATPIAL-C and why it isn't for you. Stay tuned. Alright, so getting right into it, I have a lot of experience with the PEC 15, right? 12 years-ish experience. And then I have about 2-3 years of experience with the ATPIAL-C. I got it because it's very similar to PEC 15. I'm pretty sure they make a PEC 15 without a couple features, mainly being legit bright settings, high level settings, as well as what this really pissed me off when I found this out. You can adjust the diameter of the beam of the illuminator on a PEC 15. You cannot on an ATPIAL-C, which is one of my favorite features of a PEC 15, because you can basically turn it into a backup IR laser, that's not the only thing you can do it on. You can do it on other IR devices, but getting into it, I really want to go with something that I was familiar with, and I don't regret doing that, because now I can tell you all, don't bother with that mentality. Go ahead and find something. Even if you go to a full power PEC 15, LA5, whatever, get one of those. I'm going to try to be investigating some other devices, but really at this point, I'm not going to have footage to roll in, but I've used my friend's D-ball, and it was way better than the ATPIAL-C, when they're about the same price as where I'm going at this. Now, my next upgrade is going to be well beyond the D-ball and ATPIAL-C, so I'm not really going to bother trying to compare. I'm going to roll in some footage of using the ATPIAL-C. Now, at the end of the day, if that's what is available, if the D-ball all of a sudden goes up in price, if you just end up with one, it's not a bad device, alright? It's not bad. If it was cheaper, which I think it should be, it'd be like, okay, it's got a place in the realm, but where it's even with the D-ball, without putting the D-ball through extensive testing that I like to do, I'm just going to go ahead and say, get the D-ball. And by the way, I'm specifically referring to the A3, D-ball A3 when I say that. Now, there's a lot to get into with IR illuminators. Lamps, laser aim module, all that. I'm not going to get into that in this video. Again, I'm trying to keep it short. Now, I'm going to talk about the things I like about it, which really just means things I like about the PEC 15. Because again, whatever reason you may think you have for wanting to get an ATPIAL-C, it's probably not a reason to get one. The only one I can understand, which I'm still telling you, get something else anyway, like the D-ball, or save some more money, get something better than both of them, is my reasoning, which was I'm familiar with it. I can tell you now, again, eventually you're going to be disappointed with it and you'll probably get a different laser anyway, in which case you're going to get familiar with something new. So go ahead and take your time now, start getting familiar with that thing immediately, instead of wasting time getting more familiar with something you're already familiar with. Now, overall, I mean, the illuminator doesn't adjust, don't love that. Of course, you got your covers here, and you've got your slaved IR invisible laser. Another thing is, I never really initially understood, oh, why do I need a strong visible laser? Well, if it's the middle of the day and you're trying to get a good zero on your laser, it can get tricky to see. So the more powerful your laser is, the more it's going to cut through those daylight photons, get on paper so that you can line your stuff up. Now, I do like the switching. It's very tactile, which is just like the PEC 15. I already have it memorized. I can do this in the dark. I know all the settings. So yeah, I love that I can plug in a switch, but pretty much all those things are not exclusive to the ATPIAL-C. Definitely not the ATPIAL-C, not even the PEC 15. So, again, at the end of the day, I'm going to roll in some footage of, of my ATPIAL-C, just kind of looking at different environments. Now, what I want you to consider is, since it's the only footage I'm putting in, I'm kind of establishing a baseline here, right? So what you kind of see me do with rifles is, hey, this Mark 18 isn't really working for me. Where am I going to go from here? Spoiler alert, probably be this Spear LT you see me with. I'm going to stop briefly off with the Virtus here, and I'm going to keep it in 300 blackout, but the 5.56, anyway, so what you're seeing is kind of my progression, really delving into these items, getting familiar with them, and deciding if they're going to stay with me or not. So we're always talking about how a third party is how I acquire this stuff. It is some of the stuff I do end up buying from that third party. So you're never going to know, and there's specific reasons for you not to know or understand the complexity. But all you need to know is I spend a lot of time with these items before saying the things I say. And if I haven't spent a lot of time with the item, but I'm still confident in my opinion, I'm going to tell you I haven't spent a lot of time with that item. For instance, D-Ball A3. I've spent some time enough to know that don't know why I got this PEC 15. Now the only thing ATPIAL-C. Now the only other thing I can say is I'm not really sure durability-wise. The D-Ball comes off as not as durable, but when you look at the materials and you look at what people say about it, it seems to be very durable. Durable enough that I myself would roll the dice, and I'm going to go ahead and throw out a recommendation that you do the same. Now, as always, don't just buy something because I recommend it in a video. Do your own research, do your own diligence. The purpose of my videos is to have another set of data and then also opinion, because you're going to get both from somebody. So I try to tell you what the facts are, what my experiences were, and I try to tell you my opinion and what I glean from that information. And then you can draw your own decision. So, anyway, I'm going to roll in some footage now of the ATPIAL-C. See, that's program mode. So, we've got our laser right there. Low power, of course. And then we've got laser and illuminator, which we're covering the illuminator on. There we go. So that is laser and illuminator right there. Goodness gracious. Okay, you can see, yep, what I can. Alright, so that is the ATPIAL-C. Now there's no, of course, other settings. So that's that. Now let's go to the next. Alright, so ATPIAL-C. Let's go ahead and go through the settings. So first one's program, of course. Now we've got this low power IR laser. Nothing very special. Easily hits the dark. Not so much the light. So we'll go to plus flood. Even, yeah, it is. Alright, so flood really gets washed out by ambient light. Of course, that is white light. So, that's really that for the ATPIAL-C. So I think, as I said, that's going to be a good baseline as I start to investigate other IR devices. Maybe I'll start cutting that footage back in with other ones, or etc., etc. But for now, you can see kind of the bottom of the barrel offering as far as lambs and illuminators. So yeah,